In this episode, I will be adding traffic barriers and lights to the warehouse entrance. Stick around. Hi, and welcome to a new episode. In this episode, I would like to motorize these two barriers and have some warning lights for when a train is about to cross this road here. Now, I had built these out of styrene. I'm not too happy with them because they're very flimsy. In fact, one of the mistakes I made was I glued these to the roadbed after I painted it, because it was going to be very difficult to paint it without putting the grey paint on the barrier. But I am thinking about 3D printing them, just like the one I have in the DMU shed, and replacing these with them. They tend to be work better anyway. They don't have all this. Let me show you here. Display in them, the 3D printed ones. So when the barrier comes up and down, it almost always aligns into the groove here. So that I will try. Another, a more important issue that I have is I've already drilled this one right through, and there is a rod going right through to attach to the motor I will be placing underneath this barrier. But for this one, it being on that side, there is a major issue. Let me show you. Okay, this is the pin for the one on the right. The one on the left is give or take a few millimeters along this line here, which aligns, let me move the camera, which aligns with this cross beam here, and which also hosts this stay to keep the baseboard up. So I might have to cut here, put on another bit of wood on the other side, and cut this section out. So the motor, when it's mounted to the baseboard, it will come down here and clear this crossbeam. Until then. So here is the finished product, and I managed to get it to work. At the moment, I can only control it through my keyboard on my PC because I need to pass some wiring. But just for the heck of trying it out and showing it to you, here goes. I like the smooth operation of a stepper motor, and it's silent, and it has acceleration and deceleration, so it doesn't just start shooting up and it shoots down again. And there you have it. Now, this is what you will see. Like I said, there's lights to go on still. I'm going to show you what goes on under the baseboard. Okay, here you have the motors, one for each barrier. I 3D printed these mounts. I've used them before near the DMU shed. These I need to zip tie here. These are the controllers, one for each motor here. They are wired along here, and they come up to this MCP23017. This is an expansion board for the ESP32, because there aren't enough pins to do what I want to do on the ESP32 on its own. So I use a 16-pin expansion board. All the lights for the warehouse office are connected to the ESP32, because I wanted to dim the ones in the offices. And when I had them connected to the MCP23017, this board does not support the dimming of LEDs, so I swapped stuff around anyway. At the moment, I have it connected with the USB cable because, like I said, I can only control it with through the keyboard, and I'll just have to add a wire here and connect it to wherever DCCX is closest, which is off the camera. It's a bit to the right here, but I have to go through all this jungle here. So the next will be to build those famous signal lights that I have to put up on close to the track. I want to print them. I want to put LEDs in them. I believe 3 in each. And I'll be wiring them up to the remaining expansion boards here. There'll be no dimming there, so I'm okay for that part here. So, until then. Okay, so I designed and printed this part here. It's much smaller than it appears on the screen, obviously. I put this little notch here and on the other side as well for the wires to come out, but I'm not sure if they are in the right place. I may have to redesign, but for the time being, I'm going to try them like this. So let me show them to you printed. And this is the printed version. Like I said, compared to my finger, they are very small. This is the front part, the front that we will see, and this is the rear. There's a space between there and the back side of the back. It's hollow inside now, so the LEDs can't fit in there. And if I manage to pick one of these up, let me use 2 hands because they are very fidgety. They will appear something like this here, size-wise, one on each side. And for a pole, I have a C channel, which is about 1 or 1.5 millimeter hollow, and I plan to pass the wires through that. So, first thing I want to do is get these painted. I'm going to spray them black, obviously. And then with some tacky wax, I'm going to put the LEDs in the back there and sandwich the LEDs between this, the front, and the rear, obviously, on both of them, and pass the wires right through. So, hopefully the next time you see this, they'll be assembled, but not connected. I'll just show them to you here and show you where they're going to fit. So, until then. So, just to give you a rough idea of what it entails to set up these lights, I printed some extra ones, and I'm going to show you how the big job it is to put these LEDs or SMDs inside these printed signs. To start off with, handling them is not easy because they are so small. And if you think these are small, they're under a centimeter. You can see that's a square centimeter there. They are less than a centimeter. So, and I need to fit 3 lights, 3 LEDs in there. So, I bought a packet, 3 packets in fact, white, red, and amber. I'm not using the white in this project, but the red and amber, the 2 on the top are red and the bottom one is amber. So these are the 2 wires. There's a blue and a red, if you can see them. And this at this end, I'm laughing. That is the SMD. The tiny LED. It's the SMD 0402. I believe it's the smallest LED you can get. The wire itself is a nightmare to strip. Obviously, in most cases, it's too long, and then I don't like to coil it up, so I cut off the extra length. I leave maybe an inch or two extra, and I strip the end. To strip the end is a nightmare on its own, because the minute you put a side cutter to it, or a stripper, the wire breaks. Even with my fingernails, if I do this and pull, sometimes the wire breaks. So this is how I go about it. Most times I put the LED through the hole when I can see it, but I normally use my magnifying glass, and with the camera in place it's difficult. And I move the wire to the middle here. Then I pull the LED, oops, you can't see, sorry. I put it through the hole there, and it comes out the other end. I twist the wire straight up. I hope you can see this. Wait, let me put it in such a way, there. And then I start pulling back until the LED seems to be in the right place. We'll even hope. And once I find out that it's in the right place, I get some tacky wax. I fill the backside here with tacky wax, so it stays in place. Then I clean up a bit, and I do the other two. Eventually I end up with 6 wires coming out the bottom. Having to sandwich this here, and at the same time making sure that the wires come up from that gap there, and making sure that the LEDs are still in place, that I haven't pulled them in or they're not sticking out too far. Anyway, it was quite a task. The first one took me about 4 hours to do. The second one took me longer. In this case, practice didn't, experience didn't teach me anything. But anyway, and then I will have 6 of these wires. I have this, I think it's 2mm I-beam. I glue it in the back, and I pass the wires inside the groove of the I-beam. Fill it up with tacky wax, paint it all black, and I'm done. Speaking of paint, I first painted, hang on a minute, this part, the front part, because I was not going to paint this with the LEDs in there. I can't mask them, so I painted only this one first. The rest, when I glued it all together, I masked the whole front, and I painted the rest. So that gives you a rough idea of what it took just to show you how I put one LED in there, let alone actually getting it in the right position and adding another 2 and closing it up and hoping that when I connect them, they work. So let's move on to the next part. And here we have a little demonstration. This class 31 is going to come through here. It has been detected that it's coming this way. So the barriers close and the lights flicker. Just have to wait for it to go by. And there it is. Let's look at it one more time in the opposite direction now. Okay, here we go again. It's been detected. Here it comes. And when it clears the point and enters the warehouse area, it will release the barriers and the lights. And there we are. Barriers go up, and now the cars are free to cross the road. So, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Take care, and until the next one.